I'm not like my dad. I'm smarter than him. Better than him.
What up, welcome back to the channel. I'm Monet, and we are locked in. This is the recap for Power Book 2 Ghost, episode 2. We had another classic episode right here, and I'm starting to see the development of this series go to another level. The storyline is great. All the characters, they're lining up, and guess what? Every time we watch it, more and more information comes out. The only thing that I like about it is we still don't have the full picture. So we still got more to get into, and guess what? The Tejadas, they are dysfunctional on another level this week. But before we jump into this and break down episode 2, if you like power content, breakdowns, theories, predictions, recaps like this, then hit your subscribe button and turn your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button and follow me on Instagram right here. Now let's go ahead and jump into this episode because Tariq, he's doing all right. It's everyone around him that we have to keep a close eye on. And you know, on my channel, everybody is a suspect until we remove them. So let's jump into it. This is the recap of Power Book 2, episode 2, Ghost. We start the episode off with Lauren. We know that she was in the hospital. Now she's living in Jenny Sullivan's house. Well, the backstory is Effie knocked her out, took her away from Brayden, put her in the car, thought that she was going to push her in the water and she drowned. But luckily for her, a citizen was walking his dog, called the police. Now, Jenny is telling her Effie wasn't working alone. She was working with Brayden. Lauren said, I already told you that. She shows Lauren a picture of Tariq and says, we're trying to get Tariq. But Lauren holds it down and says she knows nothing about Tariq. But Jenny knows about Effie. The crew meet up with Nomi's gang, and I'm talking about my boy Obi, who is smooth, straight to the point, but doesn't trust these kids just like you and I. We've seen 2 seasons of them messing up. Now, Tariq comes together with everybody and makes a plan. All right, Kane, you gonna be dropping it off. Brayden, you at the country clubs. Effie, you got the schools. All right, let's get it. It's a lot of work in here. We got to get to it. Of course, Brayden keeps bringing up, let's move dope on Wall Street. But Tariq doesn't want anything to do with that because it's a high risk, especially for him being a young black man. Brayden, on the other hand, he has privilege. We've seen Kane still trying to get at Effie, but she's not showing no love. And Effie is kind of distanced from Tariq, saying, hey, I'm doing this for real while y'all playing around. So right now, Tariq has to keep 3, I'm going to call them employees because I think that he's the head of this organization, 3 employees, disgruntled employees, in line. David shows up to talk to Monet. And as we mentioned last night on the first reaction, Monet hasn't said more than 1 sentence at a time this whole season. It's only 2 episodes in, but she's very upset that they don't have any information on Zeke. Now, Davis is telling her, listen, this is the whole foul on Zeke, and the NYPD are scratching their head because they don't know what happened. But Monet is saying, listen, you need to start doing your job, Davis. Don't stop until we find out who did this to Zeke. The only thing is, in the background, we see that Lorenzo is listening. He is the killer of Zeke, but we need to find the actual killer. And if you look closely, he then focuses in on Zeke's box. Jenny and Saxe have this illegal relationship where they pass information to each other. One's a defense attorney, the other one's the state's attorney. They're not supposed to give up information like this, but who cares because they're in love. Now, everybody's wondering who's the CI. We hear Saxe admit that he's working on it. Now, does that mean that Saxe is actually the CI or he knows somebody on the inside? We don't know at this point. But Jenny is trying to get this RICO together with Blanca and the DEA. Saxe is trying to get information about Theo Rollins to take it back to Davis while watching Davis. So right now, everybody's looking over everybody's shoulder, but no one has all the information. And right now, Jenny is working overtime to stay legit, but, you know, be a little edgy and get this information from Saxe, the guy she's having sex with, or was having sex with. Back on Wall Street at Weston Holdings, Brayden's at his desk doing his job, or on Amazon shopping like we all do. His co-worker is sitting there kind of sleeping. And then, you know, early in the morning, you need that extra nap. Now, when Kiki comes in, she wakes him up and she's asking him, hey, where's this work at? I've been telling you to run these numbers. He hasn't done it. Brayden steps up and says, hey, man, do your work. Now, he gets a one-on-one with Kiki, and we're starting to see that she's a little frustrated with having to work hard while everyone else gets to slack off. Brayden steps up. He's like, yeah, man, you want me to go to HR? I'll tell on them if you need me to. She said, nah, I just hate these trust fund babies. They come in here, it's handed to them. and I got to work for it. Now, Brayden is seeing that she needs help with something, and this help is this co-worker. So Brayden, he listens to her. She says, sounds like he's thinking about a Proud Boys rally. Brayden starts thinking of a plan. Rashad, Tate, we got this campaign up and going. Guess what? We need some money. Now, Steve Ott comes in, and you know he's always backed Tate with the DRC. But at this point, the numbers for Tate aren't looking like the numbers for Tate in season 1 and season 2. Well, season 2, he was a professor. So back in the OG power, the numbers are down. We know he lost to James St. Patrick for the governor spot. Now Steve is saying, hey, you need to get it together. Tate's bringing in a new intern to help out because we need them young eyes on the campaign. And Steve also says, hey, you need to get a wife because everybody sees Tate. We know that he's a player, but he's a legitimate player if he gets a wife. You remember the young man that was sleeping at his desk? Well, Brayden put that plan together and put some damaging information on his computer, some propaganda, some Proud Boy stuff. Also, he door dashed a tiki torch and a Hawaiian shirt. I don't know why, but guess what? It all goes together, and they fired that young man. Kiki sees this. She's like, oh, that's a turnover from Brayden. She takes Brayden down to one of the empty floors that she has a code for. And on the way down, they get to kissing in the elevator, and then they get it on in one of these empty offices. Brayden finally has him a new love interest. Tariq shows up to start his first day of his internship for Tate. Now, we trying to get this thing up and running. We want the young boat. But when he gets there, Brasandria is sitting at the desk, and we find out that she's the new intern. Tate comes. Tariq is upset. Tate, what happened? I thought I was the intern. He said, listen here, Tate. I came up here to work and be the intern for you. Tate said, Tariq, let me talk to you. First of all, you're St. Patrick. You hot in these streets. We all know that the St. Patricks are up to no good. We know that the feds are after the St. Patricks. We know that the local PD are after the St. Patrick. Hell, at one point, I was after the St. Patrick. But Tate is telling him, listen, with all that being said, you are a St. Patrick. You'll figure it out. Here goes a Tate campaign hat. Go on out there, kid. Live your life. So Tate got rid of Tariq because this would be too many eyeballs on him and his campaign. And I'm talking about the wrong guys. As I've stated before, and as we're going to go over and over and over again throughout this season, the Tejada family has a lot of internal issues and external. Well, we just seen Lorenzo tell Kane to go handle whoever killed Zeke because Monet won't get off our back. Now, Kane is telling him about Drew, and Drew is over Everett's spot. Now, Lorenzo told Kane to handle whoever killed Zeke. Drew is here. Instead of getting his head in the game, he's talking about being the date to Everett when he goes to sign to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, Everett wants Drew to be supportive, but he's also saying, hey, I got to keep us a secret. So Drew and him, they have a little relationship where they go back and forth. Everett's supposed to be going to Oklahoma. Hey, man, get out the city while you can. The Tejadas, whoever they touch, bad things happen. Auntie Evelyn shows back up. And if you remember last season when Uncle Frank got killed, well, I mean, they had to take Uncle Frank out. Y'all, Uncle Frank may have been talking. But Monet looked out for her and gave some money. Now, Evelyn comes back and she's paying it forward. Now it's her turn to look out for Monet, but she also gives some information because Monet isn't talking. Monet is still down and out, depressed, grieving her son. Evelyn says that there's a white cop named Whitman asking around. So now we have a lead on the criminal side of how we can move forward and who we need to look out for. But Monet still ain't saying much. Brayden, Effie, Tariq, they all in the dorm rooms and they're trying to figure out what's the next move. We know that Effie's moving product to the schools. Brayden's supposed to be over there in the country clubs. But now Brayden is saying, hey, Tariq, come to Wall Street with me, bro. Come in here, be an intern. Man, we could have some fun up there. Tariq is saying, all right, but we can't bring any drugs. I can't risk that. Brayden's like, okay, cool. So now we got Tariq going to Wall Street. They dap up. Tariq got to handle some business. And as soon as he leaves, Brayden says, Effie, we got to tell him about Lauren. We got to let him know that she's dead. Effie's like, no, we can't do that. It's only two people that know, you and I. Now, we can't give that information because we'll lose trust with Tariq. We're trying to gain the trust. So Effie, the beloved Effie, the one we all love, the one we all care about, she still wants to keep Lauren a secret because she thinks that she's protecting Tariq, Brayden, He can't keep it in too much longer. Pause. Tariq's first day at Weston Holdings, Brayden is showing him around and he introduced him to the personal trainer in the building. Now this guy Nick, first class, free. But this is cut short because Brayden's dad comes out here upset. And he's basically saying, why do we have Tariq here? And Brayden and Lucas, they're trying to say, hey, Tariq is innocent. Brayden admitted to it. We can't just get rid of Tariq. He's a black kid that's innocent. That would be a huge blowback. Now you hear Trace talking about inclusivity and diversity on the couch. He don't want Tariq here because he knows that Tariq, Kane, and all them hoodlums, that's what Trace is saying. They crazy. Now Lucas is like, nah, I think we'll work this out. Tariq, come into the office. We got Effie back in her room. She's over here stepping on the bricks a little bit, but she's about to make some runs and drop these off at different colleges. Now she did label them all, so she knows exactly what school is which, but I don't think you need to label it when all of them are the same weight. You just drop one off. You don't need to label it and let the police know where you're taking these bricks to. Diana's getting closer to Salim, the TA, because she needs help with her books. And then Officer Whitman, the guy that Evelyn has been telling Monet, pulls her over. Now he pulled her over because she had a broken side mirror. And we're wondering, damn, on the G-Wagon? But Whitman is saying, I'm watching you very closely. Monet knows that she's being harassed, but Hitman, I was gonna call him Whitman, but he Hitman now because before he walks off, he tells her, you can leave, but I'm watching you. And Hitman Whitman, elbows to the gut, right into the side mirror, knocks it off. Davis gets a call from Monet. Monet says she's being harassed by Detective Whitman. He calls Saxe in. Saxe is working directly with Gianni. He should have some information. Is Gianni working with Saxe? Is Gianni working with Whitman? Is Gianni working with Blanca? She's working with a lot of people also. So Saxe has to go in here and verify that Gianni, if she is, working with Whitman, because he has to give up this information to Davis in order to get information for Gianni. You see how this works? He has to play both sides. But Gianni's like, hey, Saxe, you can't be calling here. And he's like, look, I need to know who was watching Dante's house. Tariq's on Wall Street working, and he's really just new, so he's just helping out. If you need something or water, I got you. But Brayden tells him to go into the office to help set up for the meeting. The reason Brayden did that is because he wants to show Tariq that, hey, everybody's using drugs. So when they go to the strip club, we see all the Westons in here having a good old time, Trace, the other interns. And now he's trying to tell Tariq, listen, you see, everybody uses. And Nick, he's the supplier. No one knows where it comes from. They just care about paper. So now Tariq is doing the math in his head. 50 floors, all the buildings in Wall Street. That's a lot of money. That's more buildings than product. They can make it a lot of money. I'm talking about ching ching dollar signs. Drew is walking, trying to get to his destination, and someone asks him, hey, my man, what time is it? He pulls out his phone, and right then and there, we knew it was time for an ass whooping because Drew ends up getting knocked out. Pap, pap. Turns out one of these gentlemen whooping on him were part of GTG. You remember Little Guap? And he's getting revenge because Lil Guap was killed by Drew. Boom, boom, beating him up. Tagged him. Put GTG on his back. Took his necklace. Spit on him. Left Drew out here by himself. Celine gets Diana a new job so she can make a little bit of money for the books. Now their relationship is getting a little closer. They're making jokes. But right now she has a job. But she's texting Effie saying, hey, thanks for putting me on, with the TA. I got me a little job. Hey, good looking. But she ends up running back in the storage room when she sees Tariq and Diana. Well, Tariq and Effie came in. Diana ran to the back. She didn't want them to see her working here, knowing that she needs some money and the Tejadas ain't really got it like they say they do. Justice League assemble. We got the DEA. We got the NYPD. We got the New York Defense Attorney. All in one room. Now, Whitman's been getting in trouble because he's out there looking at Monet and he ain't supposed to be doing that. Blanca's looking. Now, they all have suspicion of who is who in this Tejada St. Patrick RICO, potential RICO. The only thing is, no one has the full puzzle. They don't have all the pieces. And Whitman, he gives his little information. Blanca got some information. Gianni, she knows both sides, so she's like the glue. Yeah, we got us a super team now. Kane does exactly what Lorenzo wants. The guy that whooped on Drew allegedly killed Zeke also. Kane finds him, hunts him down because he's GTG. You remember GTG used to be up under Kane. He goes over here, whoops on him, pat, pat, pat. Takes money out his pocket, and what does he find? A necklace with a chain. Zeke's chain. So he's like, damn, did he really have something to do with Zeke's murder? Drew got beat up on the way to Everett's spot. They were supposed to go out for that dinner, Oklahoma City. Hey, he didn't make it. He got whooped on. Now Everett is upset. Everett already didn't want anything to do with the Tejadas, and this right here, this was the end of it. He tells Drew, leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm going to Oklahoma. Drew is hurt. He is hurting. After that, Drew leaves. Tariq texts him to meet him downtown. And you remember Nick, the personal trainer? Yeah, well, they used Drew to push him in the street to get rid of him. He got hit by a truck. Kane brings back the GTG member and lets Monet know, hey, he had Zeke's chain on him. You hear Larenz on the back. Yeah, that's him. He did it. He's trying to talk. He's like, man, I ain't had nothing to do with Zeke. I was out the country. I did whoop on Drew, but I was paid to do it. Monet ain't trying to hear it. Monet gets to shooting. Pop, pop, pop. Lays him down. Lorenzo's like, yes, all of the pressure is off of me. Kane still looking like, I don't know, this didn't feel right. But Monet, she didn't care. Now for Saxe, on the other hand, he's still trying to get information on Davis. We know that this RICO is coming together with the Justice Friends. Well, he goes into Davis's office later on that night and he finds a cell phone, a non-traceable cell phone. He opens it up. He gets the number 917-555-0161. He takes a picture of it, but then he accidentally calls it and listens to who it is. Well, it turns out it's Monet on the other line saying she has all the information she needs about Zeke. So now Saxe knows that Davis is working directly with the Tejadas and dealing with the Zeke murder. And we know that Zeke, his murder is on the board with the RICO. Tariq is saying everything is handled. We about to start taking over Wall Street. We about to be making a lot of money. Effie was in the room working on a project, not course correct, not a project for Miss Bennett's class. Nah, it looked like something called Course Perfect. Is she trying to open Course Correct back up with a new name? Now things take a change. They got to get rid of this GTG member. They wrapped him up. They getting him out of here. Lorenzo's saying, man, this is good. But Kane, on the other hand, he's been peeping the whole situation. He's saying, wait a minute. We got rid of him, but Zeke never wore his chain. I looked on his Instagram to verify. He never had his ring on. It was just on the necklace. And then I talked to the pilot and some of the guys from the hangar. They said they seen a bald head guy with a black jacket and a truck with a taillight that was broke. Lorenzo just got his taillight fixed. So Kane put two and two together and said, you killed Zeke. So you're going to work for me now. The work that Noma gave me, you got to move it or I'm going to tell Monet. So now Lorenzo is up under Kane. All right, there you go. Episode 2 of Ghost. Let me know what you think about it. Is Kane in the cat seat right now? Is he driving the bus? What is he doing? Is he in charge? Is the Tejadas going to have to fall in line? And also, how long is this Wall Street stuff going to work out before Kiki starts to get involved and telling Brayden and Tariq, y'all can't be doing this? Let me know what you think. I'm J. Make sure you tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the after show discussion when we break down each individual character. Have us a good little time. Open discussion. Come in there. Have a good time. Bring you a drink. I'm J. Make sure you're there tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you like this content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.